What? You want me to go into prostitution? I thought you were my best friend. Did you expect me to lose my virginity in the process of being a prostitute? No, 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 no. I can't do that. You have to suggest something better. Why did you even think of something like that in the first place? Udochi replied. Chinaza, looking at her, replied, Okay, oh, you can keep your virginity and lose your mother. The choice is yours. Once upon a time, in a village named Aloma, lived a young and very beautiful girl named Udochi. She came from a family of four, two girls and two boys. Udochi is the first child of their parents. Her father, late Mr. Okafor, died when she was 15, leaving her mother, Mrs. Nkechi, to raise four children as a single mom. Mrs. Nkechi raised her children with good moral principle. Everybody in Aloma often look up to her as a very hardworking widow who does all kinds of jobs to put food on the table for her and her children. She managed to sponsor Udochi to the university, having gotten her senior secondary school certificate 3 years ago, which she had 9 A's. Because of the fact that she is a very intelligent girl, Udochi's family always look up to her as the breadwinner of the family, as she always dreamed of becoming a medical doctor in the nearest future so she can be able to save lives. Not just a dream, but already a reality, as she has gotten admission to study medicine and surgery in one of the best university in the city. Everyone in Aloma looked up to Udochi in admiration as she embarked on her journey of making her dream a reality. She was determined and focused on achieving her dreams, moving away from any form of distraction that would stop her from reaching her target. However, in her 200 level as a medical student, life took a bitter turn for Udochi. Her mother, Mrs. Nkechi, fell in a serious mysterious sickness. Udochi was still in school when she was called from the village that her mother is dying of a serious sickness. She traveled to the village immediately, leaving whatever she was doing to go check up on her sick mother. When she got home, she couldn't hold the tears seeing her lovely mother, who has sacrificed everything for her, lying helplessly in a sick bed on a critical condition, which may even take her life if care is not taken. Not too long that Udochi came into the hospital, her sick mother was admitted to that the doctor who is in charge came into the room that her mother was kept. After some tests carried by the doctor on the sick woman, he found out that she is suffering of a serious heart disease which may take her life if they didn't act fast, as a surgery may need to be carried out before she will have a chance of surviving, which may cost a huge amount of money. The doctor also said that some of 1 million Nigerian naira need to be paid before he can commence the surgery, which Udochi's family don't have. Please, sir, we have never touched 500,000 Nigerian naira. Talk more of seeing 1 million Nigerian naira. Please help us and save our mother, Udochi says as tears roll down her chest. I would have loved to help you people, but you know that I'm just an employer here and I am only doing my job as I was told to do it. The doctor replies. At this point in time, Udochi was totally confused. She doesn't know where to get the amount of money from. She thought of going to her uncles and other relatives for help, but she knew fully well that right from time, he doesn't help or care about her and her poor mother. Many thoughts runs through Udochi's mind as she sat down and watches the only person who means the world to her die slowly, all because they don't have money for her treatment. Am I going to sit down here and watch this woman who have sacrificed everything just for me to live die all because there is no money for her treatment? Am I going to just sit down here and watch her go through all of these pains? No, I must do something. I will never allow this woman die here, not while I'm still alive. Udochi says as tears uncontrollably fell from her eyes. She decided to try her luck by going to her uncles for help. Ejuke, please take very good care of Mama. Let me go to Uncle Chidozie to know if he can help us. Udochi says to her younger brother Ejuke as she stand up ready to leave. I would have suggested you shouldn't go and waste your energy and time on something that don't worth it. You know fully well that he is not going to help us, right? Ejike replies to Udochi, let me just go. If he refuses to help us, I will also go to Uncle Chukwuebuka to seek for his help also, Udochi says as she looks at her dying mother. Okay oh, I pray they may help us. But since the death of our father, none of our uncles have ever spoke anything good about us, let alone of helping us, Ejike says, as tears roll down her chest. After exchanging some words with Ejike, Udochi stayed out for her uncle's place. When she got to Mr. Chidoze's compound, she found out that nobody was around. She had to wait till they comes back. When Mr. Chidoze and his family members finally came back, they met Udochi sitting under the mango tree in their compound. What are you doing here, you daughter of a witch? Mr. Chidoze says as he didn't even wait to receive greetings from her late brother's daughter. What are your mission? He says. Good afternoon, sir, Udochi replied. What is good about the afternoon? Say what you are here for and go to hell with your greetings, Mr. Chidoze shouted at her. Udochi trying to summon courage as she is filled with fear with the way her uncle shouted at her. Sir, please help us. My mother is dying. She's dying. She's in pain. She's diagnosed of a very deadly heart disease. Please, sir. The doctor said, shut up. The doctor said what? Oh, you want me to give you money for her treatment, right? After she killed my brother, she's a witch and she deserves to die. I will not give you any dime for her medication. In fact, get out of my compound now before I do something stupid. Get out. Udochi, feeling embarrassed, walked out of his compound, crying and confused at the same time, as she don't even know whether to also go to her other uncle, Chukwuebuka, or better still, to head to the hospital. After being insulted and chased out by her uncle, Chidozie, she decided to go to Uncle Chukwuebuka's house to seek for his help since she doesn't have any other option. On reaching Mr. Chukwuebuka's compound, she knocked at the gate. Who is at home? Please open the gate, she shouted as she knocks on the gate. Please open the gate. Just as she was about to knock on the gate again, someone opened it. It was Uche, the gate man. Who are you? He asked. I am Udochi, late Mazi Okafor's first daughter. I am here to see my uncle, Udochi replied. You mean late Mazi Okafor, my Oga's late brother? He asked. Yes, I am her daughter. Please let me in, Udochi says. No, my Oga warned me very well never to let any of late Mazi Okafor's family come into this compound, else I will lose my job. So you need to start going before he comes out. I don't want problem, the gate man says as he pushes Udochi out and closed the gate. At this point, Udochi was confused on what to do. She went back to the hospital. She found her mother's sickness getting more worse. The doctor told her that she may not make it if something is not done in few hours, that her condition is getting more critical every minute. Did any of our uncles agree to help us? Ejike asked. No, all they did was to insult me and chase me out of their compound, saying that our mother is a witch who killed our father and she deserves to die, Udochi replied. I think the only option we have left now is to travel back to the city so that I can look for a job that can help me raise money very fast and also seek help from my friends, Udochi says. What kind of job did you think will pay you the amount of money we need at this short period of time? Ejike replied, God in heaven will help us, my brother. Let me go now before it gets dark. Take very good care of Mama, Udochi says to Ejike and turned to her mother. Mama, sorry, I promise you everything will be fine. This sickness will not take you away from us, not while I'm still alive. You must stay alive to eat the fruit of your labor. Let me go to the city to raise money for your treatment. Oh, Nem, you will not die, she says as her mother responded to her by nodding her head and waving goodbye to her lovely daughter. She left for the city, hoping and praying for God to provide and come for her assistance. When she reached the city, she met with Chinaza, her school friend and also her roommate. Udochi and Chinaza have been a very good friends since they first year in the university, and since then they have always shared things in common like blood sisters. Udochi told Chinaza about her mother's condition and how her uncles has abandoned and refused to help them. My mother is dying in pain in the sick bed right now. She is diagnosed of a very deadly heart disease, and none of my wealthy uncles have agreed to help us. One of them even called her witch that she deserves to die. I am confused right now, Udochi says as tears roll down her chest. Chinanza, feeling very pity for Udochukwu, said to her, I am very sorry for all of these pains, Udochi. I wish I can help you, but you already know how we have been surviving here, that things are not easy for us. But I think I have a suggestion to make, which could give you the chance to make such amount of money. What kind of suggestion are you talking about? Please share it with me so that I can save my dying mother. Udochi replied, what if you go into hookup? Chinaza says, what? You want me to go into prostitution? I thought you were my best friend. Did you expect me to lose my virginity in the process of being a prostitute? No, 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 no. I can't do that. You have to suggest something better. Why did you even think of something like that in the first place? Udochi replied. Chinaza, looking at her, replied, okay, oh, you can keep your virginity and lose your mother. The choice is yours. I have tried my best as a good friend, but you really need to think about it, because this was the same thing I did when my parents couldn't afford my school fees. After giving it several thoughts, Udochi realized that the only way out is to go into prostitution, lose her virginity and get the money to pay her mother's hospital bill. She accepted that her friend Chinanza should give her more information on how to go about it so that it will work perfectly well. It was around 9 p.m. in the Friday night that Chinanza took Udochi to one of the most popular hotels in the city in search of desperate men who would sleep with her to give her cash in return. They were still at the gate when a very expensive and flashy car stopped beside them. Udochi was still in confusion when other prostitutes rushed to the car while they were still busy shouting, customer, customer, would you pick me up today? I am with full package, yo. The man came down from the car. It was Stanley, a 30 years old billionaire businessman. One of the prostitutes approached him as he was coming down from the car and said, sir, I am the best here, and the most interesting part is that I don't charge much per night. But Stanley ignored her and walked towards Udochi and Chinaza. As he get closer to them, he waved his hands and said, hey young ladies, how much do you charge per night? Udochi and Chinaza was still in confusion when he cut in and said, I will pay you 500k, but it is you that I want. He says, pointing his fingers at Udochi. She was still in confusion as she looks to Chinaza when Stanley said again, okay, I will give you 1 million and that is the last price I can pay. Then Chinaza replied, okay sir, we accept the price, but it's payment before work. And Stanley replied, in that case, call me your account number. Udochi called her bank account number and the money was sent to her immediately. She joyfully followed Stanley to the car and they drove off, leaving Chinaza behind. When they got to Stanley's apartment, it was a very beautiful mansion filled with luxurious furniture. Stanley opened the door and says to Udochi, welcome to my humble abode. Udochi was still in shock as she have never seen such a luxurious house before. She stopped a while and looked around before replying, thank you sir, you live in such a luxurious home. They went straight to the bedroom. That was when Udochi was filled with fears. Stanley noticed her change in behavior and said, don't worry, I won't hurt you, okay? Just as Stanley was about to sleep with Udochi, she screamed out loud, which filled the whole room, and says, please sir, don't hurt me. This is my first time and I am a virgin. Please sir, don't hurt me. Stanley was shocked on hearing this. You mean you are a virgin? Stanley says, yes sir, I am a virgin. Udochi replied, you are a virgin and you are into prostitution? How is that possible? Could there be an urgent issue that made you into prostitution? Because right from the time I met you, I have been wondering why an innocent and young girl like you joined hookup. Stanley says with a surprised face, yes sir, yes sir, please. My mother is diagnosed of a very deadly heart disease and we need money for her treatment, and none of my wealthy uncles agreed to help us, so I don't have any other choice than to join hookup and lose my virginity to get the money for her treatment. What? Are you being serious right now? Stanley asked. Yes, sir. As I speak to you right now, she is in pain. She is dying. And the worst part is that the doctor said she may not make it alive if something is not done very fast. What about your father? Stanley asked. He's late. He died when I was 15 years old. And since then, life has been what it is. Udochi replied. You know what? I'm going to help you. How much is the hospital bill? Stanley asked. The doctor said that sum of 1 million Nigerian naira need to be paid first before he can commence on the surgery. Udochi replied, don't worry, I will help you. God have brought me into your family to wipe your tears. Forget about the money I sent to you initially. I will transfer another 2 million into your account tomorrow morning. Udochi was overjoyed. May God bless you, sir. May my God shower you with blessing. You don't know what you've done for me and my family. God in heaven will surely reward you, Udochi says, as tears of joy rolled down her chest. After exchanging information about each other, Stanley gets to know that Udochi is also a 200 level medical student in the university, while Udochi, on the other hand, also found out that Stanley is a single successful businessman. He promised Udochi that from now henceforth, he will sponsor her to the university, and in the process of knowing each other more, Stanley and Udochi fell in love with each other, though both of them hid their feelings, and for security purpose, Stanley showed Udochi a bedroom where she slept till the next morning. When they woke up in the next morning, they rushed to Jesus the Savior Hospital, where Udochi's mother was admitted to. Stanley took care of the hospital bills, and the surgery was carried out successfully. Udochi and her siblings was happy seeing their lovely mother healthy once again. All thanks to their savior Stanley. Thank you, my son. God will reward you for saving my life, Udochi's mother says. You don't have to thank me, Mama. All glory should be unto God, who made everything possible, Stanley replies. He went ahead and confessed his love to Udochi in the presence of everyone, and Udochi told him that she felt the same way, but at first, he thought it wasn't mutual. Stanley went ahead and promised to sponsor all Udochi's siblings to any level of education abroad, and also make sure that he take very good care of the whole family. Everyone of the family was happy and also giving praises to God Almighty, who used Stanley to change the ugly situation of the family.